What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be doing a comparison between these two handguns. Now, who is sick of all the Kimber promotion nowadays? You see people talking about the 1911s, how great they are, promotional ads, marketing, all that stuff, right? And then you go to the gun shop, right? And you're looking in the case. Your mind is telling you, don't buy that. Do not buy it. But it looks so beautiful. It looks like an amazing handgun. It looks like it's well made, looks quality. It just looks perfect on the outside. But everything in you is telling you, do not buy that 1911 style Kimber. I've dealt with that before. Trust me, I've wanted to get Kimbers for the channel. But then I went to my local gun store, which is actually a pretty big gun store, pretty dang popular, one of the only in its area. They told me they sold 32 Kimbers in the course of a couple years. 32. But yet their display case was pretty dang big. You know how much money you lose displaying stuff that you're not selling, especially at a brick and mortar? They got to the point where they stopped selling Kimbers and auctioned them all off. Now, here we are. This is not a Kimber 1911. This is a different breed of Kimber handguns, which you can tell they're sort of going in this direction. They released that larger version of the Kimber Mako R7. I forgot exactly what they called it, but it's more of a compact, getting closer to a full-size handgun, right? But anyways, the Kimber Mako R7. It's something different from Kimber. It's something we wanted to see. And what's different about it? Yes, the looks. Yes, the style of it. But mainly the reliability of it. Then over here, we have a Sig Sauer P365, which for years and years was plagued with issues like 1911 Kimbers. I had 4 P365 variants. 2 had major issues and had to get sent back. Now, you got to be real and you got to be honest. Sig has some of the best customer service there is. But to be honest, I much rather have a handgun company fix their problems before releasing them. Not knowing about the issues and still releasing them and saying, hey, you know what? We'll deal with it when it comes around. That's sort of lazy, right? And once again, Sig is a massive marketing company. You notice how Glock doesn't have that massive section in your store with posters and all this stuff? No, the Glock just chills, barely does any marketing, barely sends anything out for a review to, what do you call it, gun tubers, and they just chill. Meanwhile, Sig P365s and P320s have become your favorite gun tuber's favorite gun, or at least something they claim they love and all this stuff, right? Which I have nothing against this P365. This one has been absolutely awesome. We did a video where this one, in particularly, obviously it's clear, shot 500 rounds, no problem, continuously. We put it up against the Hellcat, and they both ran 500 rounds, no problems. Kimber Mako R7. We're getting close to 1,000 rounds with this thing. I got to get back out at the range with it, but it's been an awesome handgun. And it's been very shocking and very surprising. And I keep getting people asking me about it because they saw the new release that may be a little too big for carry. But this thing is honestly just right. Let's get into it. 10 plus 1 on the left, 11 plus 1 on the right. And if you're wondering, this is an Armory Craft grip module. You can use code SPN to save, I think it's 5% or whatever. Anyways, 10 plus 1 on the left, 11 plus 1 on the right. About the same size when you get rid of the base plates, because you can use flush base plates for both of them. About the same size. Kimber, a little wider, a little thicker, a little bit longer, a little bit bigger overall footprint. The grip is wider this way. The slide and frame are longer this way, as you can see. Both have different rails, proprietary rails, whatever you want to call it, right? This Kimber has actually been an amazing handgun. If you know me, I like the Glock 26. And the micro 9s that are the closest to the Glock 26 in size are this and the Canik MC9. When you get to stuff like the Sig P365, your hand just devours this handgun. Now, I can shoot it just fine. The P365 really does handle recoil. It's probably the best at handling recoil out of any other micro 9 out there. It is a great, has great capacity, pretty decent sights. I'm not the biggest fan of the Sig sights, but they're pretty decent and they are tritium. Like I said, though, you can switch whatever grip module you want, which is part of, P365, P320 modularity, is you can basically swap out any grip module to fit your hand. This one in particular feels really good with the traction and is going to be one of the smallest for concealed carry, but at the same time, the one it comes with, it feels like your hand is just devouring it and you don't have enough. Another thing is they have no memory pads or any traction up here, so your thumb sort of slides on this rail when you're shooting. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Other than that, it's a great shooting handgun. This one's been 100% reliable. The finish on this one hasn't been absolutely terrible. It's actually held up better than my other P365 slides. Honestly, it's not terrible at all. Barrel wear, not bad at all, considering this has probably 2,000 rounds at this point. No issues. And obviously, you can get them without the manual safety. That's just a variant that was on sale at the time. And yeah, trigger-wise, I like the trigger. It's a great shooting trigger. It just feels sort of cheap. I don't know if that's the right word. But like I said, with this one, no issues whatsoever. With my other two that had issues, it was a sear issue, right? Or one of them was a sear issue, I should say. And springs being out of spec. Anyways, Kimber Mako R7. This grip is sort of, it's wider and bigger, so you think it would feel better. And it does. But it also feels like I need just a little bit more. But it does fit right into the, you know, your palm swell right there. You see that? Nice curve right into your palm, and boom. It's a little bit wider, and the whole entire thing has grip and traction on it, and just the right amount. And even up here, a lot of companies don't put decent texturing up here. That goes all the way over, basically making it little thumb pads. Now, it doesn't, you know, stop a whole lot of recoil, but it does give you a little traction for keeping your thumb in place. Chances are you've never shot this handgun. Chances are 90% of the people who are going to say the Sig P365 is better have never shot this handgun. This is flatter shooting. This has more capacity. Obviously, you can turn this into whatever capacity, so maybe a bad argument. Like I said, flatter shooting, but it is bigger. And honestly, the trigger is better. They killed it with the trigger on this. That's a defensive trigger. There's a nice defined wall, crisp break. With the Sig P365, it's more of like a rolling, there is a wall, but it's like a rolling break almost. I don't know. Not a bad trigger at all. But the Kimber Mako actually has a really decent trigger, and you'll be very surprised while shooting it how accurate it is. Reset. Crisp, clean, nice flat base trigger. Now, I do think the P365 maybe looks a little better. The Mako looks sort of awkward, if that makes any sense. Maybe not to you guys, but it does to me. And also, you'll notice the side ejection port. Sort of looks weird, right? But it only can eject this way. I've had no issues with that, though. And supposedly, the design makes it so that's all you need. Making it cleaner on the inside of your handgun, less stuff getting in there, that whole sort of thing. So, not a bad idea. Awesome, awesome finish on it. You will have no rust issues. Some of the P365s have been known for having rust on the slides, around the sights, and on the mag. You're not going to be having that issue over here. Looks like they went with Metgar for their mags. Not 100% sure, but they probably did, as most companies who want a nice, reliable handgun do, other than Glock and Springfield Armory. Now, awesome sights. Check these out. 3-dot sights. I believe they're True Glows. Yep. White outlined rear with a U-notch in the center, and then up front you have that orange outline. It's honestly a surprising handgun. Is it my favorite? No, it's not. Definitely not. But this is one Kimber I actually would recommend getting. They're both very accurate. This one's been reliable. This one's been reliable, so I can't complain whatsoever. They're good handguns. I do like the Kimber Mako R7 better. I like its size better. I like its capacity better. Like the other mag, not just the amount of rounds, but the way it feels in your hand with those mags. The extended mag feels really good, while the Sig P365 still feels like you're missing something, even with that longer mag. But a lot of people love the P365, but chances are you have never shot the Kimber Mako R7. And no, I have no business with Kimber whatsoever. Just someone who likes Micro 9s, likes testing stuff, likes shooting stuff. And honestly, I'm a big fan of this handgun, and I didn't think I would be. One thing I did notice, though, is putting an optic on it is a big game changer, even if it is a budget optic. This right here is a Cat X Pro. You can always use code SPNF at Optics Planet for 7% off your order. That should help. Anyways, two great handguns. Let me know in the comments. People wanted to know what I thought. You know, Kimber is known for flashy handguns that don't really work in the 1911s. But this is a striker-fired model from them, and I think they did a really, really nice job with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sometimes you got to think outside the box, not what everyone else likes. Thanks for watching.